I think an interesting thing about creating and the process of creating is when you know as you do something that it's not going to turn out the way you want it to. And I don't mean the overcritical way of it's not going to turn out the way you want it to. I mean in the very realistic, it's not going to turn out the way I want it to. An example of that is the recent teaser episode of The Real Trees, where I had this idea, and you can go view it on our YouTube channel. You're probably viewing this on our YouTube channel, but I had this idea. I wanted to do a thought balloon, and I'm learning compositing, learning green screen stuff, and learning adding effects such as that. And I also wanted to add little comments, almost editorial comments on it. So I wanted to make some mistakes in it. I didn't quite do it as much as I wanted to. I only put like one spelling error and then comment on that a couple of times. But I also wanted to experiment with like, you know, the getting that timing down, that musical timing, the editing and adding this stuff. And I knew it wasn't going to turn out the way I wanted it to, and I knew going in that at the end of the day, what was important is if I learned something new. And that's probably like true of anything in life. But when you're creating stuff, and it's kind of like a public learning module you're doing here, it's very important going in that you know that some of the stuff, especially the first time you do it, is just not going to work. And this was another thing that I was experimenting with that's probably going to be used in similar but different ways in the regular series when it starts. So I wanted to see like, how does this work? How do I do this? Like, is it important to have the thought balloons and the speaking balloons like in motion? Like there's one in there where it's a sad face with the narrator because that's who he's communicating with, and I have it move up like it's sad face, oh, and it moves away, and I think that worked alright, even though I didn't, paste that out and get the movement the way I'd wanted to. And like with the little comments of like, oh, this is messed up, and an idiot did this, and like, oh, the same idiot later. I think if I'm going to do stuff like that, I need it to happen more than just randomly one time. Maybe even make it a focus of an episode. I mean, I think I could have it pop up in some episodes, but if I make it a regular part, it needs to be a regular part so people can get used to it. And this was the first time I also added it like a share button or a like button, and I liked the ones I found and were using, but I might tweak that and how I do that. So overall, like when I released the episode, I was like, it didn't really fit the way I wanted it to. Of course, my acting's awful in it. I really wish like I'd found somebody locally to play the character, but not only did I not find somebody locally to play that character, it's economically cheaper for me to play the main character. So I got, like, one of the reasons why I'm doing this is to get more comfortable in front of the camera, and hopefully I will over time. But that episode was also filmed, as I talked about in another blog entry, it was filmed after a bunch of other stuff fell through. So like when you're creating stuff as a filmmaker, or like I've talked about how I'm learning to write comics better, even though I did them in high school and stuff, I didn't do them very good then either, but I'm learning, doing that process. It almost pays to be, and not in a negative and hating yourself way, but to look at stuff and say like, this is not going to turn out the way I like it, but what did I learn from it? If you look at the end of the day and say, this is what I learned to do better next time. And I even make a checklist now. After I finished this and posted it, I said, what would I do different next time? And what do I need to learn to do it different next time? And I think that's really important. All we can do is keep learning.